First contact and galactic shock. The vast emptiness of space suddenly erupted with a brilliant flash of light. A sleek, silver spacecraft emerged from the wormhole, its hull gleaming under the distant starlight. Inside, Captain Aria Chen of the Earth exploration vessel Curiosity took a deep breath, her eyes fixed on the viewscreen before her. "Status report," she commanded, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. Her first officer, Commander Zain Abdul, responded promptly. "All systems nominal, Captain. We've successfully traversed the wormhole and emerged in the Proxima Centauri system." Aria nodded, a small smile playing on her lips. "Humanity's first steps into interstellar space. Let's make them count." As the Curiosity glided deeper into the system, its sensors suddenly blared to life. Commander Abdul's eyes widened as he studied the readouts. "Captain, we're detecting an artificial structure in orbit around Proxima Centauri." Before Aria could respond, a massive ship shimmered into existence before them. It dwarfed the Curiosity, its hull adorned with intricate, swirling patterns that seemed to shift and change as they watched. A melodious voice filled the bridge, speaking in perfect English. "Greetings, explorers of Earth. We are the Galactic Confederation, and we welcome you to the cosmic community." The crew of the Curiosity exchanged looks of shock and excitement. First contact, and the aliens already spoke their language. Aria cleared her throat and responded, "This is Captain Aria Chen of the Earth exploration vessel Curiosity. We come in peace and friendship." "We know," the voice replied, a hint of amusement in its tone. "We've been observing your world for some time. Please, dock with our vessel. There is much to discuss." As the Curiosity maneuvered towards the alien ship, Aria couldn't shake a feeling of unease. Why had these advanced aliens been watching Earth? And what did they want from humanity? Hours later, Aria found herself standing before the Galactic Confederation Council. The chamber was a marvel of alien architecture, with soaring crystalline spires and hovering platforms occupied by beings of all shapes and sizes. Some were vaguely humanoid, while others defied easy description, from ethereal clouds of light to massive tentacled creatures suspended in bubbling tanks. The central dais was occupied by a being that appeared to be made of pure energy, its form constantly shifting and flowing. It spoke, its voice resonating not through the air, but directly in Aria's mind. "Captain Chen, we have brought you here to formally invite humanity to join the Galactic Confederation. However, we must express our concerns." Aria frowned. "Concerns? About what?" A holographic image of Earth appeared in the center of the chamber. "The energy being continued, your homeworld, which you call Earth, is what we classify as a death world. Its gravity is crushing, its atmosphere corrosive, its biosphere teeming with lethal predators and microorganisms. The fact that your species not only survived but thrived in such conditions is unprecedented." Murmurs rippled through the assembled aliens. Aria could sense a mix of fear, awe, and curiosity in their reactions. She straightened her back, feeling a surge of pride in her species' resilience. "With all due respect," she said, her voice firm, "those conditions you describe as hellish are what shaped us. They made us adaptable, innovative, and tough. Qualities that I believe would be valuable to your confederation. The energy being pulsed, its colors shifting rapidly. Perhaps. But there are concerns about the potential threat humans could pose. Your history is marked by conflict and aggression." Aria nodded, acknowledging the point. "Yes, we have a troubled past, but we've learned from it. Our drive to explore, to push boundaries, it comes from the same place as our capacity for violence. We've channeled it into science, art, and the desire to reach the stars." She gestured around the chamber. "Look at the diversity in this room. Surely, the Confederation values different perspectives and abilities. Humans can offer unique solutions to problems, thanks to our Deathworld upbringing." A new voice chimed in, belonging to a small, avian creature with iridescent feathers. The human makes a valid point. Their adaptability could be an asset in dealing with hostile environments or unknown threats. The energy beings seem to consider this. Very well, we will put it to a vote. Should humanity be granted probationary membership in the Galactic Confederation? The next few minutes were tense as the council members communicated in ways Arya couldn't comprehend. Finally, the energy beings spoke again. By a narrow margin, the council has voted to accept humanity's membership. However, there will be conditions and close monitoring. Arya let out a breath she didn't realize she'd been holding. Thank you. We won't let you down. As she turned to leave, the avian creature that had spoken in humanity's favor approached her. Captain Chen, I am Zix Troll of the Fitherkin. I must warn you, not everyone is happy with this decision. Be cautious. Arya nodded, grateful for the advice. As she made her way back to the Curiosity, her mind raced with the implications of what had just transpired. Humanity was now part of a galactic community, but they would have to prove themselves worthy of that trust. Little did she know, events were already in motion that would test humanity's mettle and shake the very foundations of the Galactic Confederation. Back on the Curiosity, Arya briefed her crew on the situation. The mix of excitement and apprehension on their faces mirrored her own feelings. So, what now, Captain? Commander Abdul asked. Arya gazed out at the stars, a determined glint in her eye. Now we show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of. Our journey is just beginning. As the Curiosity prepared to return to Earth with its monumental news, none of its crew could have predicted the challenges and triumphs that lay ahead. Humanity's ascension to the galactic stage would be a tale of perseverance, ingenuity, and the indomitable spirit of a species forged in the crucible of the Deathworld. The galaxy would never be the same again. The Rigelian incursion. 6 months had passed since humanity's induction into the Galactic Confederation. The news of alien life and Earth's new place in the cosmic community had sent shockwaves through human society. Governments scrambled to adapt, scientists worked tirelessly to understand new technologies, and the general population oscillated between excitement and fear. On Nova Terra, humanity's first extrasolar colony, Governor Elena Vasquez stood at the window of her office, gazing out at the alien landscape. The planet's twin moons hung low in the lavender sky, casting an eerie glow over the fledgling city. A sudden alarm shattered the tranquil scene. Elena rushed to the console, her heart racing. Report, she barked into the comm. The panicked voice of her security chief filled the room. Governor, we're under attack. Multiple ships have entered the system. They're not responding to hails and, oh God, they're opening fire. Elena's blood ran cold. Activate all defenses and send out a distress call to Earth and the Confederation. We need help, now. As she spoke, the sky lit up with streaks of energy weapons. The colony's shields, a gift from the Confederation, flickered under the assault. Elena watched in horror as buildings crumbled and fires erupted across the city. In orbit, Captain Arya Chen of the newly christened Earth Defense Vessel Resilience received the distress call. Red alert, she commanded. All hands to battle stations. We're going in. The Resilience dropped out of FTL on the edge of the Nova Terra system, immediately assessing the situation. A dozen alien ships, their hulls black as night, swarmed around the colony. Arya's tactical officer, Lieutenant Yuki Tanaka, reported grimly, Captain, I'm reading Rigelian energy signatures. It's them. Arya's jaw clenched. The Rigelians, a notoriously aggressive species on the fringes of Confederation space, had been a topic of concern during humanity's integration briefings. Now it seemed they had decided to test the newcomers. Hail the Rigelian flagship, Arya ordered. A reptilian face appeared on the view screen, its eyes cold and calculating. This is Captain Chen of the Earth Defense Force. You are in violation of Confederation law. Cease your attack immediately. The Rigelian commander hissed, baring sharp teeth. Your laws mean nothing to us, human. This world is ours now. Leave or be destroyed with the rest of your pitiful colony. The transmission cut off abruptly. Aria turned to her crew, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. Looks like we do this the hard way. Tactical, target their lead ship. Let's show them what a Deathworlder can do. The Resilience surged forward, its advanced Confederation-enhanced weapons blazing. The lead Rigelian ship's shields buckled under the assault, surprise evident in its erratic maneuvers. On the ground, the situation was dire. Governor Vasquez coordinated the colony's defenses from an underground bunker, her face illuminated by emergency lighting. "Status report on the shields," she demanded. A technician responded, his voice strained. "They're at 30% and falling, Governor. We can't take much more of this." Elena's mind raced. The colony's defenses were state-of-the-art by Confederation standards, but they hadn't been designed to withstand a full-scale invasion. They needed an edge, something unexpected. Suddenly, an idea struck her. "The terraforming equipment," she muttered, then louder, "Get me Dr. Okoye in terraforming now." Moments later, the confused face of Dr. Adebayo Okoye appeared on her screen. "Governor, this isn't really the best time." "Doctor, I need you to reprogram the atmospheric processors. Can you create a localized storm system?" Understanding dawned on the scientist's face. "A storm? Yes, but, oh, I see. Brilliant, Governor. Give me 10 minutes." As Dr. Okoye worked, the battle raged above. The Resilience danced through space, its human crew's quick reflexes and unorthodox tactics keeping the Rigelians off balance. But they were outnumbered, and Rigelian reinforcements were arriving. Aria gritted her teeth as another blast rocked the ship. "Shields at 40%, Lieutenant Tanaka reported. We can't keep this up much longer, Captain." Just then, a new voice crackled over the comms. "This is Admiral Zixon of the Confederation Fleet. Hold on, Resilience. Help has arrived." A massive Confederation battleship dropped out of FTL, flanked by a dozen smaller craft. The Rigelians, caught between the human ship and the Confederation fleet, began to falter. On the planet's surface, the colonists watched in awe as the sky darkened. Massive storm clouds gathered with unnatural speed, swirling into a monstrous cyclone. Lightning crackled between the clouds, the electricity interacting with the planet's unique atmosphere to create a dazzling, terrifying display. The Rigelian ground forces, unused to such extreme weather, found their equipment malfunctioning and their troops disoriented. Taking advantage of the chaos, the colonial militia launched a counterattack, pushing the invaders back. In space, the combined human and Confederation forces pressed their advantage. The Rigelian ships, realizing they were outmatched, began to retreat. "Don't let them escape," Aria ordered. "If they report back, they'll return with a larger force." Admiral Zixon's voice came through again, a note of respect evident. "Agreed, Captain Chen. All ships, focus fire on their engines. Disable, don't destroy." Within minutes, the remaining Rigelian ships were dead in space, their engines crippled by precision fire. As Confederation peacekeepers boarded the disabled vessels, Aria allowed herself a moment of relief. They had won against all odds. The aftermath of the battle was a flurry of activity. As medical ships arrived to treat the wounded and repair crews began their work, Aria found herself in a conference call with Governor Vasquez, Admiral Zixon, and the Confederation Security Council. The energy being that had presided over humanity's admission to the Confederation spoke first. "We owe you a great debt, humans. Your bravery and ingenuity in the face of this unprovoked attack have impressed us all." Governor Vasquez, her face smudged with soot but her eyes bright, replied, "We're grateful for the Confederation's aid, but we couldn't have done this without the technology you shared with us." Perhaps the energy being conceded, but it was your application of that technology that turned the tide. Using terraforming equipment as a weapon, truly innovative. Admiral Zixon chimed in, his avian features animated. and the tactics employed by the Resilience were unlike anything I've seen. Captain Chen, your ship was outgunned and outnumbered, yet you held the line. Arya nodded, feeling a swell of pride in her crew and her species. That's what humans do, Admiral. We adapt, we improvise, and we never give up. The energy being's colors shifted thoughtfully. Indeed, it seems our initial concerns about your species were misplaced. Your Deathworld origins have created strengths we had not anticipated. As the call ended, Arya couldn't help but feel that something had fundamentally changed. Humanity had been tested and had risen to the challenge. They had proven their worth not just as members of the Confederation, but as protectors. In the days that followed, news of the miracle of Nova Terra spread throughout the galaxy. Humans, once viewed with suspicion and fear, were now seen in a new light. Their resilience, creativity, and determination had saved not just their colony, but had potentially prevented a larger conflict. As reconstruction began on Nova Terra, Governor Vasquez stood once again at her office window. The scars of battle were still visible, but so too were signs of hope. Aliens and humans working side by side to rebuild, stronger than before. She smiled to herself, thinking of the message she'd received from Earth earlier that day. The Confederation had formally requested that humanity take a larger role in galactic peacekeeping. It seemed that the rest of the galaxy was finally beginning to understand what humans had known all along, but the challenges that forged them had also made them uniquely suited to face the dangers of the cosmos. As the alien sun set on Nova Terra, casting a warm glow over the recovering colony, Elena Vasquez knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity's journey among the stars had taken an unexpected turn, but they were ready for whatever the universe might throw at them next. Little did they know, an even greater challenge awaited, one that would test not just their strength and ingenuity, but their ability to bring a fractious galaxy together in the face of an unprecedented threat. The Deathworld Olympics. In the wake of the Regellian incursion, humanity's standing in the Galactic Confederation had risen dramatically. As the dust settled, an unlikely proposal emerged from Earth's diplomatic corps, the Deathworld Olympics. Ambassador Kira Yoshida stood before the Confederation Council, her voice steady as she outlined the concept. A series of competitive events designed to showcase the diverse strengths of all member species. But with a twist, each event will take place in conditions mimicking various Deathworlds, including Earth. The council chamber erupted in a cacophony of alien voices. Some expressed intrigue, others concern. The energy being presiding over the session pulsed with curiosity. An interesting proposal, Ambassador. But why? Kira smiled. To foster understanding, build camaraderie, and prepare our combined forces for any future threats. After all, the universe is vast and full of dangers. We should be ready for anything. Months of debate and preparation followed. Finally, on a terraformed moon orbiting a gas giant, the first Deathworld Olympics began. The opening ceremony was a spectacle of light and sound, with representatives from hundreds of worlds parading under their flags. Humans marched alongside tentacled Zorblaxians, crystalline quartz mines, and even the gaseous nebulites in their containment suits. The events that followed pushed the boundaries of what each species thought possible. In the high-gravity gymnastics, humans shocked the galaxy with their agility. The acid rain endurance race saw unexpected alliances form as species helped each other navigate the corrosive downpour. But it was the final event, the Deathworld Decathlon, that truly captured the spirit of the games. Teams of mixed species worked together, facing challenges that simulated the harshest environments known to the Confederation. Human Catherine Lopez found herself partnered with Zix Troll, the avian alien who had supported humanity's admission to the Confederation. As they faced a simulated volcanic eruption, Catherine's quick thinking and Zix Troll's ability to fly proved a winning combination. In the end, it wasn't about who won the most medals. The real victory was in the bonds forged between species, the mutual respect earned, and the lessons learned. As the closing ceremony lit up the alien sky, Ambassador Yoshida stood with the Confederation leadership, watching the celebratory crowds below. The energy being's voice resonated in her mind. "You were right, Ambassador. This has changed things. Perhaps we've all been too focused on our differences." Kira nodded, her eyes on the intermingled aliens and humans. That's the beauty of facing challenges together. You stop seeing aliens or humans, predator or prey. You just see allies. As the first Deathworld Olympics came to a close, a new sense of unity spread through the Confederation. They had glimpsed a future where the combined strengths of all species could overcome any obstacle. Little did they know how soon that unity would be tested, as a threat beyond their imagination loomed on the horizon. The quantum plague. The afterglow of the Deathworld Olympics was short-lived. Just months after the Games, reports of a strange illness began to surface across the Confederation. Victims fell into comas, their bodies seemingly caught between states of matter. Dr. Amelia Chu, Earth's leading xenobiologist, found herself at the forefront of the crisis. As she studied tissue samples from affected aliens, a terrifying realization dawned. "It's not a conventional disease," she explained to the Emergency Confederation Council. "It's a quantum virus existing in a state of superposition. Our immune systems can't fight what they can't definitively detect." Panic spread faster than the plague itself. Quarantines were enacted, travel restricted, but the virus defied conventional containment. It seemed to teleport across vast distances, infecting new worlds at random. In desperation, the Confederation turned to humanity. Their Deathworld immune systems, while not immune, showed greater resistance to the quantum plague. A joint task force was assembled, led by Dr. Chu and Zolblaxian quantum physicist Dr. Asaik. Their mission: to develop a cure before the galaxy's population was decimated. Months passed in a blur of failed experiments and mounting death tolls. Then, a breakthrough came from an unexpected source. Marcus Kim, a human janitor at the research facility, offhandedly mentioned how the virus reminded him of his grandmother's quantum knitting hobby. "She always said you had to observe the stitches to make them real," he mused. This casual remark sparked an epiphany for Dr. Chu. What if they could force the virus to collapse its quantum state? Working around the clock, the team developed a radical treatment. Using modified quantum entanglement technology, they created a device that could observe and lock down the virus's quantum state, allowing the body's natural defenses to fight it. As the cure was distributed across the galaxy, the tide began to turn. Coma patients awakened, new infections plummeted, and hope returned to the Confederation. In recognition of humanity's pivotal role, the Confederation officially promoted Earth to full member status. Dr. Chu, hailed as the savior of the galaxy, gave a humble speech at the ceremony. "This victory belongs to all of us," she said, gesturing to her diverse team. It was human resilience, alien brilliance, and the wisdom found in unexpected places that saved us. Together, there's no challenge we can't overcome. As the galaxy celebrated its narrow escape, a new era of cooperation dawned. But in the vast expanses of space, new adventures and challenges awaited humanity and their alien allies. Guardians of the Galaxy, a new era begins. The observation deck of Harmony Station hung in space, offering a breathtaking view of the Milky Way. Captain Aria Chen stood at the viewport, her reflection barely visible against the backdrop of stars. Beside her, Ambassador Kira Yoshida and Dr. Amelia Chu gazed out at the cosmic tapestry. "It's hard to believe how far we've come," Aria mused, her voice soft with wonder. Kira nodded, a gentle smile on her face. "From feared Deathworlders to respected allies, it's been quite a journey." "And it's only just beginning," Amelia added, her eyes sparkling with the same curiosity that had driven her to unravel the quantum plague. A shimmer of light announced the arrival of Zixtrol, the avian alien who had become one of humanity's staunchest supporters in the Confederation. "Ah, I thought I'd find you all here. The ceremony is about to begin." The humans shared a knowing look before following Zixtrel to the Grand Assembly Hall. Representatives from every Confederation world filled the vast chamber, a living tableau of galactic diversity. The energy being that had once questioned humanity's place among the stars now hovered at the center of the room, its form pulsing with warm, welcoming colors. Sentience of the Confederation, it began, its voice resonating in the minds of all present. We stand at the dawn of a new era. Time and again, in the face of invasion, plague, and cosmic challenges, we have prevailed by standing united. The being's gaze, if it could be called that, settled on the assembled humans. And at the heart of this unity, we find the indomitable spirit of humanity. Born in a world that sought to destroy them, tempered by adversity, driven by an insatiable curiosity, they have taught us all that our differences are not weaknesses, but strengths. A ripple of agreement passed through the crowd. Aria felt a swell of pride, tempered by humility. They had faced so much, lost so many, but they had never given up. And so, the energy being continued, it is with great honor that we bestow upon humanity a new role within our confederation. No longer merely members, you shall be our guardians, protectors of peace, seekers of knowledge, and a shining example of what can be achieved when we face the universe's challenges together. The hall erupted in a cacophony of cheers, whistles, and other alien sounds of approval. Aria, Kira, and Amelia found themselves enveloped in a sea of congratulations from beings of all shapes and sizes. As the celebration continued around them, the three women shared a quiet moment. Guardians of the Galaxy, Aria said, testing the weight of the words. Seems like a big responsibility. Amelia grinned. Good thing we're used to overcoming impossible odds. Kira's eyes gleamed with determination. Whatever comes next, we'll face it the way we always have, together. As if in response to her words, a junior officer rushed up, slightly out of breath. Captain Chen, we're receiving a distress signal from the Andromeda Galaxy. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. Aria straightened, her expression shifting from surprise to resolve. She looked at her friends, seeing the same readiness reflected in their eyes. With a nod, she turned to the officer. Well then, let's go introduce ourselves to a new galaxy. It seems the universe has more in store for us. As they moved to answer the call, the energy being watched, its form shimmering with what could only be described as pride. The Deathworlders had come so far, and their journey was only just beginning. The galaxy, no, the universe, would never be the same again. And that, it mused, was a very good thing indeed.